Can either of you guys speak to, this is like kind of a deep dive question about Weta. You were talking about new technology. The thing about Weta, as I understand it, is that they develop this amazing software that's responsible for how great their movies look. So was there something specific that they did for this movie you can talk about?
Well, there was, and there continues to be. You know, Weta never stands on the laurels of their past. And I love Caesar. They did a phenomenal job on Caesar, but Caesar was able to hide behind, you know, an ape face wrapped in fur. Here, they were exposed. They had to deliver in the lips and the mouths, and what they've really worked on is on the inside out. Working on a system that is not driving the facial performance from the outside, but understanding what the muscles are doing under the skin, and then moving the skin. And we talked, Rosa came out, and one of our artists talked to Rosa about all of the idiosyncrasies that she does that we're not supposed to be able to do. That this eyebrow will go up, but this lip will go down, and no one else does that, but Rosa does it.
I wouldn't say he discussed. I would say he interrogated. He's like, what does your face do? And why is it doing that? What are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know.
It was Weta learning and teaching their system from the inside out, which is a brand new thing they're doing, and really pushing the technology.
Yeah, because you know, it used to be that if a CG character, the biggest issue with CG was that like if a CG character fell on the ground, like we saw a shot like that, it used to feel like there was no weight to it.
Right.
But now it feels like there's weight. You feel it. It's not just the sound design. You're like, damn, that is a big machine, but none of it's real.
Even Alita herself is she's made out of metal, and so when she goes down into the water and she lands, you see the dust rise, and you know, I feel the same way. You want to feel the weight of her. That's part of what makes her real.
But more importantly, Rosa's not performing against a green screen. She's out there, and we built a 97,000 square foot set on the back lot of Troublemaker Studios, where, you know, Kian could go on a scene on a bridge in the rain with Rosa right there, tenderly touch her cheek in a very romantic scene that you couldn't do before. But Weta and pushing the technology is allowing the actors to really do performances with each other.
Oh my God, let's talk about that set.
Okay.
Let's do it. Because I was there with alcohol, yeah.
Oh,
it was amazing. But when you're shooting a movie, I mean, it sort of is like a Broadway set, like a theatrical set as well. So being on set, describe it. How much of this is real versus how much is CG?
Well, it's all real. I mean, I was given the gift of being able to perform this character in performance capture, but also the gift of existing in a practical environment with practical props and practical people, and never, you know, with the exception of one day working on a green screen stage, all the other days were in the real, true environment of that set, and it's so rich, that world, and that's a gift. If your filmmakers are giving you that kind of environment in which to play, half the battle is won. You're there.
Well, just have the things that you don't see as well. Like when we were shooting, every set you could just go into any of the buildings and they were fully dressed with couches and you know, there's bars in the restaurant and and even in the vents, like there was fog coming through the vents, so it really felt like a living, breathing city. And we had like 200 extras, all in wardrobe. They created some practical looking, if they're in the far background, practical looking robotic arms and stuff like that. So you really, and the gyro bike that I ride doesn't actually work, but they made you know, the actual bike, so it all feels so real.
I was gonna ask you about that. You read my mind. Like, was it kind of towed, or like, would they cut when you climbed onto it? I'm sorry, John, I'm asking.
It was real. He got on it and he drove it.
Okay.
For the movie parts, for the movie section was a toad. Yeah, but that one that he got on is an actual one that's.
That's awesome.
I want it.
Now, and the funny thing is that when we were prepping the movie, we found a company that actually made, today, single-wheel motorcycles. And we got one, and it's a much smaller version, but in scenes, you'll see it going around in the background. So it's, art imitates life, life imitates art, and then the back and forth process.
Well, I would say the same thing for prosthetics. If you're wearing a prosthetic, if you have a pacemaker, if you've got a titanium hip, you're not that far off from someone in Iron City.
Or just holding your phone,
That's the thing, woo, the technology that we carry in our pockets and keep in our pockets for the duration of this panel. John, is there ever a moment when you've worked on so many of these really visually groundbreaking films that they mean so much to us on an emotional level, do you ever just say, I don't think we can do that?
Have you met John?
Yeah.
Did you see him up there?
I think there comes a moment, on any challenge that you begin to question. But that I serve as a challenge to you to exceed and to move on and to do better. I remember, on a movie years ago on Titanic, everybody was saying we're not going to be able to build the ship, we're not going to be able to do this. And I went out to a bookstore and I bought these books for people, all of our department heads, and I handed them the books and I inscribed each one with, I know we can, I know we can. The book was The Little Engine That Could. And the nice story about that for me is, 15 years later, when we were doing Avatar and people felt that same concern, a department head came to me with the book that I had given him 15 years earlier, and he said, I know we can, I know we can. And I think we can because of the people we surround ourselves with. By finding someone like Robert, who is not afraid to embrace technology, to find technology people that we stand on their shoulders, the artists who design these characters, and then the characters who play them, and they take the biggest risk. They're the ones who are out there exposing themselves, really to the world. So we're up here standing on their shoulders, and it's that challenge that excites me.